Hey y'all, Annie Sorensen here of AnnieSorensen.com, and very honored today to be reviewing a book that released February 22nd, so next Monday, Social Media 101, the next book by Chris Brogan, who's the author of Trust Agents along with Julian Smith, and even more honored today to be guest posting this review on the Ren Men show for Grant and Alan and all of the Ren Minion viewers out there, so very honored to be with you today. And just want to share this book with you. Releases in a few days. This is the second book by Chris Brogan, and he mentions in the introduction kind of a really awesome point in that, you know, he wrote Trust Agents. It was released last fall. Trust Agents was about building trust online and community and things like that. And Chris mentions in the intro, which by the way, I'd recommend whether you're considering buying the book or you've just bought the book, definitely read the intro, because it really talks about the entire purpose of the book. And I think that if you don't read it, you will kind of be confused a little bit on truly what the purpose behind Chris writing the book was. But he mentions in there that, you know, a lot of people expected Trust Agents to be a book about social media, and it wasn't necessarily a book only about social media. And so he listened to his audience, to his readers and his community, and so he decided to put together Social Media 101. And another thing he mentions in the intro is that this is a book that is basically pieces of his blog, chrisbrogan.com. And I think that's another very important piece that people realize before they read it, because the book doesn't read like a normal book, like a normal business book or even a novel. It is kind of pieced together, and I think that that is because it is just his blog posts that he has reconfigured and updated and tweaked and put together in a wonderful compilation of a book. So once you read the intro, you really get a feel for, okay, this is going to be Social Media 101 tidbits about just the very basics of what social media is all about. And it's going to be very compartmentalized into little pieces that just consisted of Chris's blog posts about the topics over the last year or two or three or four. It's made up of, I think, 87 tiny chapters. What's really awesome about this is it's practically like a textbook. You could go to the table of contents, pick out the header of the chapter that you would like knowledge on, flip to that, read it, consume it, and update it, and act upon it. So it can be read cover to cover like I did. I think it also would be good as a textbook really just to refer to for the specific pieces that you really want knowledge on. This is full of action items. Every single page practically has URLs and links, and he mentions person after person and company after company in the social media space, and the number of things you could look up and research and go learn more about that he mentions in this book are, oh, you could spend hours and hours and hours, and you can see that I have all these pages dog-eared and marked for things that I personally want to go and look up after I've read it. So I think another awesome thing about this, not only is it very textbook in nature that you could just pick chapters out based on headings that you really want a lot more information about, but it could be used as an awesome starting off point. And I think that his title, Social Media 101, is perfect for that. This is the 101. Use this as your starting point, then use all of the information and other resources that Chris wonderfully documents in here and go forward and continue your education on your own. This is where you start, take everything in here and go forward with it. And so I think that that is wonderfully focused on throughout the book. A couple of quick quotes I thought were fun. Chris mentions people loathe meetings, and the people who love them usually have something wrong with them. That made me laugh because I just left the corporate world, so I like that one. Another one, looking for a career in social media is like seeking a career in email. Instead, use these skills to cultivate another ability of yours. Wonderful point I think a lot of people need to learn. And finally, at the very end, the last couple chapters I think are worth its weight in gold for this entire book. Even if the rest of the chapters didn't exist, the last couple that he summarizes with are perfect. One more thing he says, I'm learning how to use these tools to build human networks, and then using what I've learned to help others achieve their business and organizational goals. How? I don't sleep and I type a lot, right? Maybe that's all it is. You decide. Again, a wonderful call to action for anyone reading this. You know, this is a great book. Chris's voice, because it is very much based on his blog, his voice you can hear in here. If you've read chrisbrogan.com at all, his voice is all throughout this. Also very similar to his blog, practically every chapter, sometimes even every paragraph, ends with a question. Again, calling you to action, calling you to use this as a baseline to then think more and expand upon all the thoughts that he gives you. So all in all, Social Media 101, Chris Brogan. It's very compartmentalized, little tiny topics. I think sometimes if people don't read the intro and know that it's that type of book before going in, they might be a little confused. However, tons of information, a great starting off point to really learn a lot of the important concepts in the social media world, and then take this and go forward and learn and experience so much more. So, highly recommend it, Social Media 101. Very honored to be reviewing this for the Renman Show. So if you're viewing this somewhere else besides the Renman Show blog, definitely go check it out at renmenshow.com. I know Grant and Alan will definitely appreciate that. So with that, I hope you go and be inspired. And what do Grant and Alan always say? Watch, learn, and comment. See you later.